Now let's move on to her first submission, which is the rear naked choke. Okay, you've probably heard it before. You've probably seen it in movies or in mixed martial arts. Now it's time for you to be able to apply it efficiently and effectively. Okay, so let's get Chrissy here on my back. And what we're gonna do is check off 3 things in our checklist for this move to work, okay? So number 1 is the placement and the snugness. Number 2 is the lock, all right? So that we can keep and maintain that position. And number 3 is the 3 types of pressures, okay? That she needs to apply to make sure that the squeeze is correct, okay? Sometimes what happens when you're putting this rear naked choke is you're just thinking about pulling, okay? And when you're just thinking about that one pressure and you're also leaning back as you're pulling, that's alleviating some of the pressure, okay? And sometimes when it's not correct, you're putting in 100% and you're still wondering why the person's not tapping or why it's not working. So what we want to do is be able to apply just enough pressure, maybe even up to just 50%. And if everything is snug and put on correctly, it should work right away, okay? So here we go. So number 1, the placement. All right, so her bicep is going to be right here on the side of my neck and her forearm is going to be on the other side. If we think about that, that means the crook of her elbow is right in the middle like this. Okay, so think about that V. You want that right in the middle. Okay, I don't want her forearm like this trying to hurt my throat for this particular choke. It's a blood choke, so we want to plug the arteries. So we're here right in the middle. Okay, so you can see that when I mean snugness, when she does this choke, it shouldn't be loose here, okay? It should make connection right away. So that means it's as if she's throwing a hook and that bicep connects, okay? She should feel that impact right there on my neck. And her forearm's gonna go here. So she wants to make this a narrow V, like that. You can see how it's already changing my voice. We're just gonna alleviate a little bit of that, okay? Now, my natural instinct is to be able to pull this down because there's something wrapping around my neck. I don't want her choking me. So 2 arms against 1, she's going to lose this battle every single time, okay? So she's going to need help from her other arm. So let's think about the lock now. We talked about the placement and the snugness. We're understanding that we're looking for that feel on our bicep and our forearm. Now we have to prevent this from going down. All we're gonna do is, if she's made a V here, she's gonna want to make a V on the other arm rather. Okay, so when she makes that V here and she grabs onto her bicep, it makes it harder for that to slide down. Okay, it's like a latch. Okay, so imagine this is a key into a lock. Now it's harder for me to kind of pull this down. Now this arm right here, if I'm smart and I know a little bit of jiu-jitsu, I'm gonna put this down and make that V into an I again, I guess, and it's going to make it into a ramp. That means this can slide down, right? So how do we make sure that I don't have access to this arm? She's going to hide this arm right here behind my neck, okay? And what she's going to do to secure that so that I can't pull that arm out is she's going to put her head here, okay? So now you've got that V here and you've got this V here. So what she's going to do is, as she's going for this choke, she never wants her arm out here as she's doing it before she puts it here, because I'm always going to grab this arm, all right? So what she's going to do is, actually this one's going to come from here and it's going to slide in. So as she does that, it's going to slide in, she's going to grab onto her bicep and now it's locked into place. I'm trying to grab that arm and pull it out, but I can't. Okay, so she's doing a good job already. So we've gone 2 already. The snugness, so she's gonna make this a little bit more over here, good. And the lock, so I'm gonna pull this down. Make sure that this one doesn't collapse, Chrissy, you just hold it on. I pull this down, yeah, that's nice and strong, okay? And I can't grab anything, everything's locked into place. Now let's talk about the pressure. She has 3 pressures that she wants to think about. This is something I learned from Jack Toffer, okay? So we want pressure going this way, pressure going this way, and pressure going that way. 3 times, okay? So 3 types of pressure, 1, 2, and 3. So when she's here, to think about this pressure, she wants to kind of put her elbows together and imagine as if her right hand wants to go to her right shoulder. Obviously it's not gonna get there, but that's just gonna make sure that it's snug here. There's no space here, no space here. So here, her elbows come together like this. Boom, see, that in itself is choking me already. Okay. From there, once she pulls up on this, she doesn't want to alleviate pressure by leaning back. So that means the pressure of her going down is going to make that as a stopper in a way, all right? It's going to prevent me from trying to alleviate that pressure by going back myself. So right now I can't go that way because of that pressure. She goes here. Now she's just going to pull that arm back slightly. And she's going to imagine that my neck is like a watermelon and she's trying to pop that watermelon just by the squeeze alone. So go slowly. We're here. Squeeze. Here. Pull slightly back. Yeah. Feel where my neck is in your forearm and in your bicep. Okay, go. So yep. Just like that. So she put maybe how many % of your strength would you say?
Like 15.
15? 15%. That's all she needed. Okay, so let's try that again. So without me coaching her too much, what's the checklist, Chrissy? The first one?
The first one is that this is in your veins.
Okay, placement.
The placement.
Okay, second one is
that this one doesn't go like this.
Okay.
So I went like this.
Okay, so it's the lock.
The lock.
To make sure that this doesn't go off. And the
then
third one is, what are you applying? The 3 types of?
The 3 types of pressure.
Yep. Okay.
Which is like this, and like this, and like this.
Yes, good. So let's try that. Boom, apply it yourself. And I'm not gonna tap. Okay, that was pretty good. What was the percentage on that one?
Maybe that was 20%.
20.
But
Okay.
that's because I forgot to bring my elbows like this.
Okay, let's try again if you can do it in 15%. Okay, ready? Just 15, all right? Ready? Go. Stop when you have 15. Okay. Ooh, I'm getting dizzy. So, here's one tip before I let you go with this one, okay? It doesn't mean that if they don't tap right away that it's wrong, okay? Because sometimes when you have, like, let's say 15% for her, and in the beginning it doesn't seem like it's doing much, and then bit by bit it's like, ooh, I'm about to get dizzy, right? You're kind of limiting the blood flow to the brain, and so you can just hold on to it as long as you feel like it's snug. You don't have to go 100%. Just go slow and give them time to tap.